Welcome to Test Drive episode number 8. Tonight we're excited to be reviewing Channel Island's new technology, the Flex Bar. This is a demo that Channel Islands has left us, so if you're living in the Jacksonville area and you want to come try it out, this is going to be one of the first times that we have an actual board from our test drive that's going to be available for you to ride. So it'll be here for a little bit. Come in and try it out if you'd like. Now, as far as this actual board goes, this is, like I said, a 5/8 sampler. The dimensions are 19 1/4, 2 3/8, 28.2 volume. I'm 5'10", 160 pounds, so it's right on par with what I like for groveling smaller, to average waves. Now, as far as the Flex Bar technology goes, basically when you look at the board, you'll see what looks like a line right down the center of the rail. It's basically almost a tan brown color. What that is a very thin, high density sheet of foam type deal. It's very, very dense, so it's different than the actual EPS foam that you traditionally make boards with. They basically sandwich together 2-pound EPS foam on the bottom of the sheet, the top of the sheet, and where the Flex Bar actually comes in is they literally take what looks to be a similar type of material, a very heavy duty, dense composite foam, and it's about yay big depending on the thickness of the board, and they run that as your stringer, the actual bar, depending from what I understand, depending on the board, more of a high performance short board, the bar gets pushed further back towards the tail. Sort of a small wave groveler like the sampler here, they keep it a little further forward. And they use S-cloth 4-ounce glass on each side. The end result basically is a little lighter than a PU, but definitely heavier than a lot of the EPSs out on the market. So basically what I think that Channel Islands is trying to do, what I think a lot of the board manufacturers out there are trying to do, is they're trying to give you the durability and the life of an epoxy board with the feel of your traditional PU board. So we had a little swell out in the water, nothing great, but pretty decent for beginning of August in Jacksonville. So we're gonna head out and take this Flex Bar sampler for a test drive. Alright, well, we just got back in from the pier. The waves are actually kind of fun. Had a little punch to it, not too mushy, not anything too big, chest high or so. My initial reaction right when I jumped on the sampler and paddled it was the float really didn't feel a ton different as far as paddling the board goes. It was similar as what I remembered my PU sampler to paddle like. And when I got up on waves, I will say I started to notice, especially after riding a few waves, I started to notice that I felt like I probably could have went down a little bit and maybe even ridden like a 5.7. So my initial gut feeling is that with these type of boards, you probably can, with the Flex Bar or the epoxy style boards, you probably can shrink your volume down a little bit. Another thing I will say about the Flex Bar technology is it does have a little bit of springiness without a doubt. Even feeling a little bit bigger than what I would have preferred when I get up on the wave. I had a couple waves that were really tight little spaces where I felt like I was able to squeeze in a last little closeout maneuver where I might not have been able to on a PU board. But more importantly, with these epoxy style boards, the flex and the spring that they have tends to last 2 to 3 times longer than a traditional PU. At least you get a board that works good and really surfs good, and you're able to ride it for a couple years and still have that zing, that spring, that feel that the board is new. So that's the benefit to spending the extra money. Of course, durability is good. Everything's great about durability. But the real benefit to spending the extra money on a board like a Flex Bar is when you get one that works really well, it works really well for a long time. Thanks everybody for tuning in to Test Drive episode number 8. Stay tuned for the next couple episodes because we are planning on featuring, a lot of these new epoxy technologies from a lot of these major board labels out there. And we're really excited to bring a few more to the table that are along the similar lines of the Flex Bar.